to an extent that we have gotten their attention. Yesterday, we had some even people in church, the Holy Basilica. They had a young man who came with a flag and they are saying, reject the finance bill. S.C. Kenyahuru, where the president was, even he was heckled. And the president said that I have heard you and I have listened to you. Do you think the president will hear and listen? Because there's a difference between hearing and listen. Will the president hear and listen to the demands of the young people? Let me start with you, Rachel. What
I can say, okay, before that, first of all, let me just add onto the list that Don had.
Yeah.
We had one person, some comedian. He was once a comedian, I think.
Yeah.
Then he maneuvered his way into the government.
Yes.
John Kerry. I'm not even going to put a honorable on anything. John Kerry. So this man had the audacity to come out and say that whatever pictures that are going around are photoshopped.
Yeah.
I have skills in camera work, and I have skills in editing, and I can know an edited photo. And I was asking, how much time do we have to waste? Like how much time? Okay, so let's even assume that everything was photoshopped, and even the one that lost his hands was photoshopped.
Okay. Wow.
Even the one that lost the unarmed officer, it is photoshopped. I think some of these people are into government, are into office just for, I don't know who put them there, honestly, because if it is our parents that did that, come 2027, ISO ID tuna feature, let's start from there. Tuna feature ISO ID, and we will do the voting for you because it's like machine work. Let us now take the lead. Now, back to our president. Do I think if he is going to listen to what
respond to the demands?
I don't think he is actually. So whatever he's doing is actually playing mind games with us, which I think we will not fall for. We are a very aware generation.
You told the members of parliament to pass so that people in Garissa can get electricity. You will pass the finance bill so that we get electricity.
Okay. Well, I don't think he has our interests at heart, first of all. And I don't think His Honorable William Samoei Ruto is going to do anything. He's not going to change anything. Whatever he's doing is just to play around with our minds, to calm us down. But you know what? The fire is still hot. And my friend, we are coming.
Okay.
We are coming. So you better reject that bill. Because if it passes, we're not going to have the same Kenya.
All right. Bold and profound. We are coming for you. Faisal, so is the president going to listen to what the demands of the Gen Z and the young people are speaking in large numbers?
I don't think that he's, because whenever there has been protest, that the government has been saying that we heard you, we are going to listen to you, we are going to bring changes. So the changes that are there is like, they bring changes, but it is to hurt the Kenyans again. So what I am not able to understand is the government, have we chosen the government for the people or against the people? Because, okay, he said that he had listened, he's going to whatever, but I think all this is just to calm down the people. At the end of the day, he's going to do whatever he wants. Because if it was listening, he could have listened a long time ago. And what's something else that I don't understand is the parliament. The parliament, they are there to give us, like, all the law is made in the parliament, right?
Yeah.
So the MPs that we have chosen them, were they elected by the president, or they were elected by the people? Because democracy is for the people, right? And this in Kenya, it seems to be against the people. So I don't think the government or the president has had anything. And you have said that the tax and all is to put electricity for the people of Garissa, right?
Yeah, Garissa was just an example that electricity will be now distributed to other places in the Republic of Kenya. If you pay taxes. Yes.
Yeah, so I really don't understand, because how is taxing a sanitary pad or diaper going to help you?
Exactly.
Because, okay, tax is there. As Don has said, there is a difference between, we are fighting over taxation, we are not fighting taxing. Because taxing is the right of the people. We must pay tax for us to. But if we pay tax and then we are going to see that it is not going to nothing is changing in the government. The people, the MPs, we are seeing them having cars, big cars, like going on vacations and all, but here we are not even able to buy a bread. I will have to think 1,000 times.
All right.
As for the Gen Zs, we are people who are in campus. Most of them we are students,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They are people who are in campus. And then comrades. A comrade now we have to think like 1,000 times. Mtu mwenye hata anaweza kwa mwenye ako huko kwa nini mwenye amekula tu ngumu na maji na he called it a day for that. So I don't think he had us or anything.
All
but
right.
we will continue until there is something.
All right. So Don, let me come to you. So is the president going to listen to what Kenyans are saying?
I don't think the president is ever going to listen to what the people are saying. It's very evident from his own regime since he joined. He's not going to listen. He's just going to play the usual political mind games. You know, nitawasikiza, nitafanya hivi, nimetenga bilioni. I don't even understand why yesterday he went on ahead to say that the youth should calm down because ameongeza pesa ya help. Now how is help going to help us? He said ameongeza help, sasa mtulie. So I'm like, are you listening? Are you even listening? He's not listening.
All right.
He never listens. And that's the sad part about all of this. And as she said, the likes of John Kiarie, Alfred Mutua, birds of a feather flock together, and I believe the once clever Ruto, we thought he was clever, is the same as the birds he has in his own parliament.
All right. As we focus to finish this discussion, and I know we'll discuss about tomorrow's protest. Where did the rain start beating us? What went wrong? Because do we have to find ourselves in this kind of a predicament where the nation that is consisting of young people, the priority should be on the majority, giving better services, giving better education, giving better employment opportunities, having a dignified life. We see that our members of parliament, both in the Senate, National, Executive, Judiciary, they have a wage that is peaking hundreds of thousands, right? A senator earns a million, I wish. A million shillings after taxation, around 700 thereabouts. An ordinary Kenyan will earn around 40,000, 30, 50, 25. And now this is the lot that it's affected hard on this taxation. Where did the rain start beating us? Let me start with you, Don. Where do you think the rain started beating us?
If you look at a person who's, what's the average salary of a normal Kenyan? It's not even 25,000. Let's just put it at 15 or 18. But I want us to do a calculation on around 29 to 30,000.
Okay.
After the tax, when you, let's do it 50. After the tax and everything that was proposed, you'll remain with around 29,000 something, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you deduct your shopping, everything, your rent, goes down to your own, you know, entertainment stuff and everything.
Yes.
You're left with 5,000.
Yes.
On the 5,000, I have 3 kids. How will 5,000 cater for the 3 kids? And school fees, I haven't even added it on the list.
Yeah.
You're taxing bread, a commodity that even as we speak at the moment, not many can afford. Bread has been seen as a luxury in Kenya. And it's now very evident that it's actually a luxury. I would also like, there was a term that was used by the Deputy President with when he was asked his views on why they're taxing bread. He said, if you cannot afford bread, you know,
you buy.
So you can see.
Yeah.
The government doesn't care about the citizens. They care about what they want, the money they earn, and how they're going to spend it. You know, Kenya is the best school of thieves. Kenya is the best school of thieves because corruption has been the backbone for Kenya. Kenya's biggest Achilles heel is corruption. And let me tell you, if there's a government that's corrupt, it's this government. How can you tax bread? Motor vehicle tax, personally, is a vehicle.
Yes.
I'm paying tax every day by fueling it.
Yes.
How come should I pay more taxes on that vehicle? Anytime I buy a tire, I'm paying tax. Anytime I'm going for service, I'm paying tax. Anytime I'm doing anything for that car, I'm paying taxed. Then you go ahead and tax me even higher.
Yeah.
I don't want to use a bad word, but my blood is boiling.
Yeah.
So when you start taxing small things and making them seem as large issues and making people feel as if they are diminutive, that's when we start saying no to this.
Okay.
Because it's becoming too much. I'm also thinking that the air we breathe soon won't be free. So yeah, let me use the voice I have now, because maybe they're going to even tax our own voices, our own bodies. Maybe if you're walking to town, you need to tax your legs. Who knows?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Pfizer, so yeah, that caught me off guard as well. Don, no, but I hear you, because there are some taxes for sure we don't understand where they emanated from, like the motor vehicle tax, because you pay income tax when you buy that vehicle, and a lot of taxes in it, VAT and stuff like that, when you're buying fuel and petroleum. Pfizer, where did the rain start beating us? Is it that we are electing poor people in offices of authority, policy makers? They have lost their minds. Where did it get going wrong?
Well, to start, I'm sorry, Kenyans, but I blame us for whatever is happening. Let me say that. Because when we are choosing our leaders, first of all, during election, okay, these times we come out in large numbers, we say that the government is doing this, but which was that government? I'm sorry to say, I am for you, but when election comes, the citizens are blinded. They are being given they are given empty promises. Wanaambiwa like hiyo wakati sasa hiyo wakati unapatiwa pesa. Let's say umepatiwa 500, umeambiwa enda univotie na kupatia hiyo 500, it won't even take for a day. So as Kenyans, I think it is high time, because your young generations has started it for you. We showed you that the young generations have showed you, the Gen Z have showed you that it is more than that. So during elections, let's not think in that time, your limited time. Let's think in the future, because in the future, this very government that has given you water, like during election they give you bread, after election they tax that bread.
All right.
Something on Pfizer's point.
Proceed.
I remember there was a time His Excellency the Deputy President was in Nyeri, I believe, and he enticed the citizens with a plate of rice, rice, meat, and the obvious potatoes.
Yes.
Very common commodity.
And they gladly took.
And they gladly took it.
What do you mean by obvious potatoes? I mean, it's expected.
And Kenyans are glad. Kenyans are glad. But I want Kenyans to see that you are being enticed with very common stuff. Very common stuff. How can I go there, give you rice, meat and a few potatoes here and there, and then when I tell you next time you vote for me, and even though Kenyans know how bad, for example, how bad that person is, they'll go to the extent of voting for him. So Kenyans are being enticed through small stuff, and of course you cannot forget the ethnical backgrounds, I'm a Kikuyu, mimi ni wa mlima, nipigieni kura. And as Pfizer has just said, we are to blame for what is happening right now. We are majorly to blame for everything that is happening, because we are being lured in with very small things, I come here and say, mimi ni wa kutoka Meru, mimi ni wa kutoka nini, nipigeni kura, niende niwape mchele, niende niwape hiyo mkate, alafu kesho nikuja nipandishe yote.
Wow.
So I was saying.
Proceed, finish. Rachel, just hold on.
It is the Kenyans are to be blamed. So let's think in the future, because we have children. So say like Umeza, and then there's something else. It was a discussion that I have been listening to among the Gen Zs. There is a girl who said that now she cannot be married.
She cannot be married.
She cannot be married because the guy that she's going to marry can't a job. Amaka, like the things are too hard. Now, would you like to take the responsibility of marriage?
At the moment, I don't even think. although I love to have a family, but at the moment, I can't.
At the moment, they can't even, like, we cannot even think of that. So a lot of things that is supposed to be a basic necessity is becoming a luxury in Kenya.
Okay.
So me, I blame everyone. I blame the government. I blame the people, because we have been the ones who have voted for the government. And but also I also applaud them, because now we can see that the Kenyans, they, as much as they are blinded in the initial times, but we have showed the government that we can talk. So, like, the agencies have started it, that the people are showing the government that do not play with us anymore.
All right. Rachel, so your friends are afraid of getting married. I don't know whether you are as well, because of taxation. But where did the rain started beating us in regards to why we are in this kind of a situation?
One thing I have to say is that we have to look at, Faisal mentioned something about a hierarchy of families.
Yes.
Mzee Kenyatta begot third president, second, third, fourth president, third president.
Yes.
And then we had
the fourth president,
yeah, fourth
Kenyatta.
president.
Kenyatta
We also had Raila from also the same type of background.
Yes.
And we could clearly see that these presidents, they had a history of ruling, yeah. But now there's this one person who came into the picture. I don't understand. He just came out from somewhere.
That's the president Rachel calling the
Yeah.
one person.
So this gentleman, apparently, he said he was a hustler, yeah, before he became president. And then maybe we can ask ourselves, how did he get to being president, first of all? How did he get to be in the government? Sorry to say this, but our excellency has histories. In Hague, he's been in the international courts. And what happens? What takes a person to be in such a court? I don't want to go deep into that, but there are stories. But why did we elect him as a president despite all these backgrounds? You know, that is something that brings us into question. Greed is something that took us there. As Donna said, mnenda pale mnapewa waru, mnapewa 500. You get 500 za hata in a normal day. Ukisema ukule tu vizuri 500 peke yake haiwezi tosha. You understand? So you're just going to be bribed with 500, then he's going to be there. So this is someone who has been in the international courts for cases. This is someone who has been involved in a series of just many cases. And then now he is overtaxing us. What does overtaxing mean? Overtaxing means ila chilenge nawaambia mnipe niongezeni ingine juu ya hiyo.
Okay.
Sorry to say this, but our president, watoto wake si wote wako huko. Watoto wake wengi wako Ulaya. They don't know what it means to be in this country and to go through this. You know? So it all comes to us. And then I feel like it reached a point, as I said, Gen Zs, this is a generation whereby we are so much aware. Unasikianga mtu akisema, you know a lot than what you're supposed to be knowing. We are that generation. We know a lot than what we're supposed to be knowing. And that's why we cannot allow to be fooled again.
Right.
And that is why they saw, bana, mmekuja sana. Let's take matters into our own hands. And
right.
That is why they stepped out and they began the protests.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Wow, wow. As this, we have to keep on talking about these things. Gentlemen, ladies, I want us to focus on winding this discussion because time is far gone. So, tomorrow, the mother of all protests, it's happening tomorrow when we have the third reading of the financial bill. After that, it will be passed to the committee and then presented to the president to assent it into law, and then it becomes to take effect. So, your feeling about tomorrow's protest and what is the future of Gen Z as we give our parting shot? Let me start with the Pfizer on this one.
Sorry?
Tomorrow's protest, what do you think? Do you think they'll happen, or into the fact there is police brutality? Do you think the Gen Z will show up in large numbers? And, you know, what is your feeling about the future of this Gen Z protest? And will you have Gen Z in positions of power as we give you a parting shot?
For tomorrow,
yeah.
Definitely the Gen Zs will show up.
Period.
Because you have gone through X, right? There's a lot of these hashtags, and there's also sets of rules of the don'ts and do's that the Gen Z leaders have lined it for the protesters. They also have like medical, like they are.
Everything is ready.
Everything is totally
To
ready.
give their services.
So this means that the Gen Zs have decided, and until what they want happens, it is not going to stop. And the future of Gen Zs and them, you talked about taking up the political seats. I think we should definitely do, starting with my friends here. They have lots of sense in terms of politics, and they have that feel like they you know, a person who knows you or a person who is in your shoes can understand what you are trying to say, or can be able to help you, because if you cannot, like sahi mtoto mwenye amelelewa nini ghetto na mtoto mwenye amelelewa State House, they cannot have the same thinking. But the Gen Zs are people with the same understanding. They are people who, as Rachel has said, they have cleared all the barriers. So I think if we have that mindset of voicing our opinion, speaking up for what is wrong, understanding our grounds for what we believe in, I think the future for Gen Zs is bright, because we are more than iPhones and expensive watches and Uber and KFC.
Wow. All right. The future of Gen Z, Don, what do you think is the future of Gen Z as you reflect on tomorrow's protest?
I believe tomorrow's protest is just but the beginning. The parliament, as you already know, they've passed the finance bill. It's only a matter of time it reaches His Excellency's hand and becomes law. All I'll say is tomorrow must happen, should happen, and we should all be there to protest against this. Because as you've seen, in this government, they are looking at protests in a different way right now, because the youth are much more involved. And if we keep on protesting, I know one of these fine days, our voices will be heard. If we decide, if tomorrow they pass the bill and we decide, okay, they've passed it, let's just wait for 2027. Let me tell you, for the next financial year, I do not know what is going to be taxed. We will all be taxed, our bodies will be taxed, our hairs, our eyes, you name everything that's in your body that can be taxed. You can imagine what a kidney can go for if you're going to be taxed for that. Yeah. Wow. So all I'm saying is, let the people into the streets. This is a peaceful protest. We are losing young people just because of police brutality. And police brutality, I believe, is something that should be a national crime. A lot of Kenyans are losing their lives to police brutality. And I don't even blame the police for this. I blame the government, because they are following a higher power. Alfred Mutua said the blood is on the Gen Z's hand. What blood is on the Gen Z's hand? Are Gen Z's the tear gas canisters that blew up? No offense about saying that. Are we the tear gas canisters that blew up? Why was he in the first place holding a tear gas canisters and they are lobbed through using guns? That I do not understand. But it's unfortunate for him, he lost both of his hands, and we are sorry about that. But next time, just check on what you're doing. Okay. So I believe that freedom is the right of all sentient beings, and the government is trying to take this freedom away from our own hands. The government wants to be freedom, and that we cannot look at, and that we cannot accept. Okay. So I believe tomorrow must happen, should happen, and let everyone go out there and voice their own opinions on that.
Let me add on that as
briefly.
If the finance bill goes through, despite whatever that has happened, may God forbid, if it goes through, then it is going to be very bad for Kenya. It is going to be very bad, because in that case we don't even need a president or a government, because if we are going to suffer even though we have a government, then what is the use of that government? Okay. So I hope it doesn't go through, but if it does, if it does go through, then it is very bad for Kenya.
Great. Rachel, the future of Gen Z as you reflect about tomorrow's protest.
Well, me, So, about tomorrow, one thing, tomorrow should happen, will happen, and everyone should turn up. Because one, we are doing a peaceful protest. We are not having any sort of violence, you know. We're not carrying around rungus or bullets or whatever. If it's any of that happening, it's them, the government. They're the ones who are using force on us. Now we've lost 2 people. We've lost 2 people already.
Let's proceed.
Rex and Evans.
Yes.
And it's so unfortunate that the government is not saying that the blood of those 2 are on the police hand. An officer lost his arms. Our
The
blood was now
bold government.
The bold government said that now blood is in our hands. So I was also wondering, why was he holding a tear gas canister in the first place? Because for it to explode in his hands, he must have been holding it. Why was he holding it? We were not doing anything forcefully. We were not doing anything like to bring damage or anything. So they just decided, let's just tear gas. So for tomorrow, I know that tomorrow is going to happen, and may they not pass that bill. May they not pass that bill, because I know it's going to be mess, it's going to be chaos. Because one thing, Gen Zs will not relent easily. We will not go back easily. Atakama itapitishwa, we will not say petition. No, imagine we will not stop. That will just be the beginning of another revolution. And it has to happen. It has to happen. Because we are a generation that is unstoppable. And we go for what we want. That is one thing. So we have to turn up, we have to talk, we have to speak. And they have to listen to us. I don't know why they're not listening to us. We are the ones who put them in those positions. So if they have to do anything in anyone's favor, that should be on our favor, because they are representing us. So by them, the 204 that voted yes, I don't know who exactly you're voting yes for, because it's not obviously for our benefit. We're not benefiting anything from that. If there's anything you're doing, you're just making our lives more harder, difficult. It's not easy. The taxes that we are paying already is... I don't know when I started paying house levy. I started paying house levy before I even knew how much house rent is. And you can imagine, you're taxing me for something that I'm literally not even using. He said that his house levy is for his own universities in Najengwa. Then a time will come, we'll now be using the houses. Hizo houses zitakuwa za serikali, obviously. And anything that belongs to the government in Kenya, sure bet, you will not stay in that place 100%, because it's either leo ulale, kesho uamke uambe utoke. That land needs to be demolished. Something else needs to be put there. So they are not doing us any good. They are hurting us. Right. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Those are your sentiments, and rightfully so. Everybody has a right. The directors are telling me we have 2 minutes, so I'm giving you 30 seconds. It's final word. Maybe begin with you. Final word. Gen Z. Protest. Recap. Final word. What is your parting shot? So
my parting shots, I feel like it's our time to do. It's our time to do this revolution. It's our time to make a change. The government has failed us. Our leaders have failed us immensely. And we're not just going to sit there and watch them continue failing us. We are the future. We are the ones who are going to be in those seats. And this has to be the last of Ruto's government, for sure. This has to be the last of his government. We have had enough as Gen Zs, and we are here to take things into our own hands.
Right. Boldly so. Fraser, parting shot.
Parting shot. I would like to say that the government, instead of fighting the young generation, you should try to listen and maybe even have a talk with them on what is happening. Do not just let the government should not only be fixated on what they are doing. They should listen to the people. And as Rachel has said, we are the future. So for people, for generation that knows exactly what they are doing, I think they should be encouraged. And for the Gen Zs, good. Yeah, is it goodness to you? And tomorrow we are all there with you, and I hope the government, I hope the finance bill does not pass, because it is going to be very bad for the people. Right. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Fraser's parting shot. Don, so what is your parting shot on this?
My parting shot will be simple. The price of freedom will always be high. We are going to lose lives along the way, but let's not hold ourselves back because they're using that police brutality, and we are fighting for our freedom. Let's keep on fighting. Let's rid Kenya of these oppressors, and we will finally be stable enough to be the custodians of our own destiny. Let the fight continue.
Right, so those are the sentiments of the Gen Z, and you have said that tomorrow we tunatokea. You must turn up because they are saying that tomorrow is the mother of all demonstrations, right? And we have seen also celebrities actually come in numbers and supporting the bill, isn't it? So I must thank the panel. Here with me on my immediate right is the Honorable Donald Wanyuike. I've been instructed by the director to call you. So Honorable Donald Wanyuike, and they are telling you to vie for a position in coming general election. Thank you so much for making time. And also Honorable Faiza Hussein as well. Thank you for making time, and your sentiments I really appreciate it here on the broadcast. Asante sana. And on my far right is the Rachel Gambo as well. Thank you for being vocal on matters of girl child and saying we have to step up to these positions of authority, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you so much. And I must also thank the online community for making this discussion happen here at Bitomama Media as well as Mahana MTV. We are coming you live from Mahana College, and thank you for making this discussion happen. And of course, we are talking about the Finance Bill of 2024. The proposal is on the third reading on the National Assembly, led by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Masika Wetangula, and we are waiting for the members to decide. We already know that 204 members of Parliament from different constituencies have voted yes, as well as 115 members who have voted no. We are yet to know whether there will be persuasion from the majority side to reject the bill, as the majority of Kenyans have decided, or they are going to pass it and the president will assent it into law come after the third reading. Thank you so much. Let me know your comment in the comment section. My name is Peter Mwema. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next broadcast. Bye bye for now.